everyone. Thank you very much. This is the second session. Should I say first session? Yeah. Oh, so many tickets sold out that we actually did. I think I feel like this is so much better here. The ambiance here is so much better than the first. At the end, I have so if I did part of this event and all the staff and all the frontiers in Toronto, I can already feel how much hardship they've done for us. And when I see that, I feel a little bit like I'm responsible to put a little bit more energy and a bit of responsibility to put more effort into this for Canada, for Toronto, and through Toronto and through Canada, perhaps to North America, to US, and to Mr. Kang, to Miss Song, who has our frontier, who has really brought this idea to all of North America, and to all the staff frontier, everybody. Please, a big round of applause for all their hard work. I'm sure a lot of you have 잘생겼다. You've probably seen me in YouTube, and how do I look like now that you've seen me, now that you see me in real life? And one of the things that I hear a lot is like, oh, you're actually smaller than I expected. Yes, God is not fair sometimes. He doesn't give everything. He is fair, but he doesn't give everything. I hope we can have a fun time together. So about a month, I have a plan to, and have been touring the United States and Canada. And these are the 4 things that I really need to do during this time. And these are 4 things. 1, what is KOK? What kind of business? What kind of company is Medium? Oh, and token economy. Have you heard of this token economy? How would it make an ecosystem? How would a technology create an ecosystem? These are the important. And of course, the most important. And how can a protocol economy change the world by giving us, the everyday Joe and everyday us, the ability to change? Now, is this really possible? Everybody can live well? Is this socialism? No, no, no. There is a Korean New Democratic Party leader who says that perhaps it is possible, but the idea of everybody living well together is not a socialist idea, but perhaps a free democratic idea. So today we'll learn more about that. So KOK, let's learn about the future of KOK and the future of token. Have you seen this photo before? You know what it is about. As humanity is evolving, what humanity is using as monetary or currency is changing. You can see that, right? What was the very first type of currency or monetary asset? A monetary asset required to exchange, to trade. So the very first type of currency was old shells, dried shells, and then became stones, where we started to refine stones, and then coins, and then metals, and then credit cards. Oh, paper cards first, and then credit cards. And then after credit cards was able to be stored inside smartphones. And then after that, there is Bitcoin. So then, as you can see in this place, in this picture, for this change to happen, it changed so that the world can use it in a more convenient way. It's always been developed to be better. It's always look for a convenient way. So then what you should be thinking about is what made cryptocurrency to be, what needed to be better, what needed to be more convenient from the past forms of currency. And those are the questions you should be asking, right? So then why did cryptocurrency come to be? Any hints? Why did cryptocurrency come to be? So there's something wrong about the previous. previous type of currency. And because there was these problems to develop out of those problems is why it was made. Yes, any question? Yes, the value of the money keeps dropping. Why does the value drop though? Because they keep printing it. So I'll ask. So just like money, all the goods in the world, the more you make it, what happens to the value? It depreciates, it drops. So just like money has two big functions that we have to think. The first function is that it can exchange the value that it has that can be exchanged or traded or given. So I should be able to give the same amount to somebody. And the most important second one is that that value has to be maintained and not changed. So the value that I have when I have $10,000 and the money that becomes 10,000 in the future, it should be the same as of now or more, just like gold. But for some strange reason, the value of money keeps depreciating. Let's think about gold. So like my son is about 29, about 30. So when he was having his first birthday, I remember giving him a gift of gold and it was only about $40. But now how much is it now? $280 or $250. So is it because the value of gold increased or the value of money depreciated? It's because the value of money depreciated more than the value of gold appreciating. So that means the functionality of money itself has lost its own functionality. So when did that happen the most? Was in 2008, the great economic collapse from the United States by the top 4 banks of the world. Lehman Brothers claimed bankruptcy for giving too many types of loans and mortgages without a safe way of recovering. And because of that collapse, there was a huge collapse economically in a global domino effect. So that country that kept on being ruined by debt, what did it do to save itself? It borrowed even more money, made debt to cover the debt. So something different about the US banking system or the central system is actually partly privately owned. Rockefeller, Kennedy, these families have created the origins of the centralized banking system. So the US government was able to give debt as a method to solve the problem of debt in the 2008. So, for example, just from that point on, the amount of dollars that has been printed and given out to the economy was 4 times more than the dollar that has been printed so far. So the value of money kept on depreciating. So out of the 2 values that I said money had to have, one of those functionalities disappeared, which was what? The value of money being consistent has broken down. And because of that, trust of the monetary currency has fallen out. There was no more trust. And to solve that problem, what did we create? We created a need for a new type of monetary currency system. So until now, the problem was because this centralized system is capable of changing and printing and changing the value of money. So then we have to decentralize it. All we need to do is decentralize the system. So cryptocurrency is the idea of decentralizing the currency, and we call that through blockchain technology. So what is blockchain? So it's basically recovering the trust of the world where trust has been perverted by the centralized system. It is the technology that can give this trust. You don't have to think of blockchain to be too hard. The technology itself is very simple. You don't have to really study it. It's not necessary. Why? For us, we are not the engineers behind it, but understanding how blockchain is going to change the world and is changing the world and is affecting the world. So we have to be able to observe that and understand the basics and how on the upper scale it is working. So let's review. Bitcoin. What was it created? Why did cryptocurrency was made? It was to replace a version of a centralized currency system that has lost its trust because of depreciation of monetary value. So that's why they created a decentralized system to bring back the trust in currency. So we are here to make money through the KOK platform. So then we need to understand the token that is the basis of the KOK technology and what kind of ecosystem it may have and what kind of technology it is based on. Now, to understand KOK token, we have to understand Bitcoin first. And to understand Bitcoin first, we have to understand gold, real gold. We call this real gold and Bitcoin digital gold. So why don't we study about gold first? You like gold, right? Gold is expensive. Why is it expensive? Scarcity or rarity. That's what it is. Because there's a low supply and a high demand. So I can ask you one more time. Why are there more demand? Why is there more demand? More people who demand than the supply? Because the value doesn't drop. So then why don't we compare gold and diamond? So the idea of the value not depreciating is very important. If it's only based on scarcity, diamond is more rare. There's less diamond in the world. However, for us, if we look at humanity, when something value, when some goods value goes up, in Korea we say, oh, that's gold added right there. And it's probably the same over here. If anything goes up, we say, oh, that is gold standard. That's because gold is and has been a very important figure. But why don't we say a diamond price? Why don't we use that term? Why isn't diamond? Why don't we say silver? Why don't we say copper? There's a huge difference there. One changes in value and one does not. Of course, copper and silver, there's a lot more of those precious metals in the earth. But the fact that it's lower in value than gold is because copper and silver oxidizes much faster than gold. And that's why it depreciates in value faster. So how come we don't say diamond? Because diamond keeps changing in value. For example, in 1 carat of diamond, let's say we have 1 carat of diamond that's here, depending on how it was refined and how it's defined and how clear it is, it's completely different in price. And 1 carat of diamond and 10 carat of diamond is not times 10. It is sometimes it's times 100, it's times 1,000. There's a volatile difference in price. But in gold, for example, it doesn't oxidize. It's always its form. But 1 ounce of gold and 100 ounces of gold is times 100. The value is 1 to 1. And because of that, humanity, even if long time ago, if we think about Africa, they use gold as their standard of currency. Middle East, America, UK, Korea, Japan, all of them, even though nobody actually made into an agreement, for some strange reason, all of humanity utilized gold as real money or real currency. So then let's review. For gold, it's scarce, it's rare. About 5 times the Olympic Stadium. That's how much gold there is in the world. And about 4 of that, only 1 of those stadiums is still underground, and all of the 4 of that is being traded right now. 18 tons. Oh, but it doesn't change in form. But one hard thing about gold is that it's hard to travel with it. It's hard to move it. It's hard to trade with it because it's heavy. So a long time ago, we utilized gold as a standard of a currency, but because it's hard to utilize gold as a currency, we put gold in a gold reserve. And then what do we get? We get a gold reserve certificate. And that gold reserve certificate is called the origin of a dollar. So on there, you have a little certificate that says, if you bring this certificate back to the gold reserve, the the gold reserve will give back that amount of gold. So it was a gold certificate. And those gold reserves, what are they called now? They're called banks. Those are the banks. And that is the dollar that we trade and use. So that's gold. So then why do we call Bitcoin digital gold? This is real gold. This is digital gold. Well, the scarcity is the same. The rarity is the same. In Bitcoin, for now, there's only a certain limited amount, and the amount of mined Bitcoin is only 1/4 of what is available. But a large portion of that Bitcoin has completely disappeared. Why? Because the hard drive storing the Bitcoin has been either broken, thrown away, lost, and these Bitcoin that has no owner cannot be used. It's like it never existed. So then the amount of Bitcoin that still exists in the earth right now, there's not even enough to give 1 Bitcoin per person in Korea. That's how there's a low supply of Bitcoin. So, but Bitcoin, there's less and less and less and less of it in the future as well. Why? Because of natural loss. Why? So for example, if I have a lot of Bitcoin and something happens to me, and then I left it in some kind of marketplace, but I put a password on that marketplace, but I didn't tell the password to anybody else, then that Bitcoin is completely lost forever. So then there's so many lost Bitcoin already, and there's an increased number of naturally lost Bitcoins in the future, then what would happen? So in the beginning, let's say in 2010, when it was first started, when that first trade was happened, every block could get 50 Bitcoins. Every 10 minutes, 1 block was created. And every 4 years, they have a cycle change. And for every cycle change, half of the amount half of the amount reduces, meaning 50 to 25, 25 to 12.5. So now we're in the 4. You can only get 6.25 blockchain Bitcoin per block, and you cannot change this. This is just how the system works. So then from now on, 3 years from now on, how much we'll be able to mine? You can only get 3. And another 4 years later, 1.25 Bitcoin. Less and less and less. In the future, the supply rate drops. So you have to remember this, okay? This is an important part. So then, when it becomes 2030, out of all the Bitcoin that has been created, 99% will be mined. So how many years do we have that? So from now on, only 8 years left. So then let's think about the price of Bitcoin. Let's say this is the price of Bitcoin. In the beginning, when we the starting price of Bitcoin, it actually didn't have a real price. People only mined it. It was only created, but people were like, what am I supposed to do with this? I can't do anything with it. But on May 20th, 2010 was the first time Bitcoin was traded. And within the IT community, it was already being traded in the IT community to be given and back, but no real monetary asset. But there was this one particular occasion called Pizza Day in May 20th. And that was the first time the Bitcoin had some kind of value. And it was called Pizza Day, 2010, May 20th. Why? Now, because what happened was it was 10,000 Bitcoin was swapped for 2 pizzas. So that basically means this person has bought 2 slices of pizzas, 2 pizzas for $600,000. So then, as money kept on going up, as the supply drops, the demand keeps going up. Now, why does the demand keeps going up? And we have to have some kind of deep thinking. Why would there be a demand in Bitcoin? Why would the price of Bitcoin go up? Well, because more people are looking for it. Why are there more people? Why do the investors look for it? Because It's precious. Why is it precious?
모든 사람들이 사용할 수 있기 때문이다.
쓰는 사람이 많으니까.
쓰는 사람이 왜 많을까요?
Why is there more people who use it?
너무 어려워요.
신뢰성이 있으니까.
신뢰성이 있어. 자, 비트코인 가격이 최근 들어서 많이
So Bitcoin has going up at the top, highest, but now, of course, it's about, it even climbed up to $70,000, and now it dropped, but now it's going back up, right? The demand is growing. If demand is growing, there is a need for that. There is a reason for that increase in need. So, why did Bitcoin create? Because too much money was being printed. The trust was dropped, and to create that trust, Bitcoin was made. So what about now? Right now, big COVID. Why is money being printed like crazy right now? Because of COVID outbreak. Because of COVID. In the past, when most money was being printed, securities or secured assets back in the day was created to make sure that economy can be stable. And to do that, they utilize gold. But these days, the price of gold was dropping. The price of Bitcoin kept on going up. Why? Because the securities kept on being. Normally, both price of gold and price of Bitcoin should go up together, but something changed. For some reason, Bitcoin started to increase in price, but not gold. And what we can understand from this, that there is something about Bitcoin that is perhaps more advantageous than gold. So then, let's look at gold again as a limited amount. Bitcoin, it's limited, and both of them don't change, so they're the same. But what was hard about gold? Transportation, and it's hard to break it down. It takes too much money to move, too much money to keep it. But what about Bitcoin? You can actually break it in the millionth of a piece and still utilize it. So even if Bitcoin becomes $1 million, so then one Bitcoin becomes one. So perhaps Satoru Nakamoto, the founder of Bitcoin, was Korean, maybe? I don't know. Low supply, you can break it down. You don't need money or payments there's no upkeep, and to transfer it over right across the world is for long 24 hours, but for short, even 10 minutes. Bitcoin has all the positive aspects of real gold, but it even has the added benefits that gold has as negatives. And this is now becoming more mainstream, and people are understanding that. And in 2017, as Bitcoin is going up, what's the difference between now and then? Now, the larger conglomerates are coming in on this. In 2017, the big conglomerates didn't come in. It was all the ants, the averagers. Now the conglomerates are stepping in. Now they are a bit different than us, than when they invest. Because these conglomerates and the companies and the investment companies, what they do is they borrow somebody else's money to create investment value and return that to the investors. Even though only 5% of these investors have stepped into the cryptocurrency world, this change in Bitcoin prices are being seen. Gold, 안 들리십니까? Mic test, 1, 2, 1, 2. 저는 되는데. So,
금에 들어갔던 돈 중에서 상당 부분이 일정 부분이 비트코인에 갈아탈 수 있겠죠. 그렇게 추정할 수 있겠죠.
Perhaps it is a way of safe thinking that the amount of money being invested for gold is now being transferred over to cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin. So then what will happen to the price of Bitcoin? It's going to go up. What I've told you so far, this description, the point of it is, it's just one thing. Supply is going to keep dropping, and there's going to be a point where all of it will be mined. And from that point on, it's just going to keep naturally lost because supply will be stopped. But the demand is going to continuously go up and up and up. And if there's more demand, what happens? That means the possibility of the price to increase is much higher when there's a higher demand. So if you know this is all you need to know about cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency is important in technology, but what's more important about technology is the user. The fact that there are people who are using cryptocurrency, the people who are swapping over to more secure asset, the conglomerates and investors, and the people who are moving out of gold and into cryptocurrency, this is the big change we have to change, that we have to take into consideration. The Korean government, the US government, as much as they try to tell people about cryptocurrency and try to pressure people and sway them away from it, sure, these investors and the conglomerates would take note. But if the users, and we say, hey, can you create some assets and some goods utilizing Bitcoin, then what will they do? They will follow that money. They will follow what we, the users, are asking for. So you have ETF here in Canada, right? Canada is the very first place that made ETF legal. So if the United States joins in into that, then wow, ETF is going to blow up. Then what is it? Again, demand is going to increase. The demand will increase. The price is going to jump and skyrocket. So if I hear this, now I feel like I should get some Bitcoin, right? That's not why I'm here, okay? That's not why I'm here. Please don't misunderstand. More than Bitcoin, I have a more attractive, more sexier solution than Bitcoin, and that is KOK. And the fact that you can have a win-win solution on both hands is what I'm about to tell you. Now, to do KOK, to understand KOK tokens, you have to understand what kind of platform is KOK. For this, you have to doubt first, okay? Be curious. Don't believe. Somebody probably would have introduced you to about KOK, and because perhaps you trust this person and you are here, and you know, I'm just an investor, I interest. No, this is the wrong idea. No. Yes, that person's character. Sure, you can trust their character, but do not trust their business ability. Somebody who has succeeded, those people are the people who ask the question, how did this succeed? So KOK, they give an incentive or a benefit. Again, one more time. As time will go by, the mining rate will drop. So if you put $10,000 now, you get 7% of KOK token. This is not interest. Do not say it or do not think of it as interest. For us, if you put some money in an investment company, they would give an interest, but that is not who we are. It is not an interest. We are giving you a 7% worth of KOK token. A 7% worth of KOK token is being given to you. Now we're going to have another cycle change, and the rate is going to drop, and it's going to keep dropping. And so I've asked the company to please let me know, so I can utilize to explain people, like, if you join in later, you have a lower incentive, so I can use it. It's just like Bitcoin. It's going to keep dropping. And if I can have those numbers, I'll have a very difference in reaction to these new people. Now, why do they give an incentive? Where does the incentive, the monetary asset to give this incentive come from? And then if they give that kind of incentive, what kind of benefit does the company have? Where does it come from? So please don't delete these three things in your head. Then then you will never be part of a Ponzi scheme. And number second, why do they give it to me? Why am I receiving an incentive? The reason for the incentive. And the third, and then if they give such incentive, what do they gain? If you understand these three things about KOK, then you understand half of KOK. Then KOK becomes easy for you and becomes trustworthy. Is it trustworthy because you kept on hearing the same thing and because you keep on seeing that money coming? No. Companies can go down. Bad things can happen to companies too. So understanding the platform, what am I supposed to be doing and be part of this ecosystem? That's what you're about to learn today. So first we have to know, where did KOK come from? Where did it start? What kind of goods does it work with? Digital content. If you see this, you'll know. Have you heard of this tune that the whole world is talking about? Do you know where it was started? It was actually an American folk song study. They created Baby Shark, utilizing this folk tale song, this Korean company called Smart Study, and made it completely global. So then the American who created Baby Shark from the beginning sued this company, but for 3 years they were in a legal battle, but they dropped the charges because what Korean made is not copied, but it was made by the company. So then 아기 상어, the baby shark, took over the world. This content, this is the power of content. This is just a digital content. This content in the world, in Korea, is right now the leader of this digital content. So pop, like K-pop, BTS, amazing, right? You should really be proud of BTS. And if you look at Netflix, dramas and movies, out of the 10, probably the top 5 are about Korean dramas or Korean movies. It's always there. Games. World number 1, 2, 3 game companies of the top are all Korean companies. You didn't know that, right? Because you don't game, right? Nexon, Netmarble, NCSoft, they're the world number 1, 2, 3, and they are all Korean companies. They take over the 55% of the global gaming market. So I only gamed. I only worked till now, but when I was growing up, I only looked at Japanese mangas. But right now, Korean webtoon is taking over the world. Wow, South Korea. What a country it is. It shouldn't be just because, perhaps it's because we are Korean, we don't understand this importance of Korea, who are living in Korea. But all the Koreans living outside of Korea definitely can tune in to this patriotism. This video is explaining the dictatorship that Google has over all the apps that must go through the Play Store and take about a transaction fee about 30%. So in Korea, creates half of the digital content of the world, and they have it, but to go to the global users, what do they have to go through? They have to go through Google, to the Apple App Store, or to Netflix, and we call them the dinosaur platforms. All the K content that we create, they make money. What is this? The person making the money and the person doing the hard work is not a one-to-one match. But what did Korea do? For the first time in the world, they created an anti-Google dictatorship law. Like the very famous Fortnite. Fortnite CEO wrote, "I am a Korean. I want to be a Korean because Korea did something amazing. What did they do? All the companies creating content of the world was being slaved by Google and Apple, but Korea changed that. Korea is amazing how they achieved this. But for us, 2 years ago, about for 3 years, we tried to create a platform that can go against Google's Play Store, Netflix, and YouTube, and we created a new platform. Their platform does not protect against IP. They have no technology against copyright infringement. And if you don't have a credit card, you can't participate on this. And half of the population of the world doesn't have a credit card. And it doesn't show you where and who is watching your videos and how much transactions or traffic you've brought in, because apparently it is a company secret. But if you use blockchain, all of this will change because it's democratic, it's transparent, and it's safe. You have complete protection for your IP. It becomes a democratic platform open for everybody. And there's a free payment system away from credit cards. Even if you don't have a credit card, you just need a smartphone. If you utilize blockchain, all of the problems of these previous platforms will be solved. And plus, before Google, Netflix, and Apple, they're the only people who made all the money. And there was really no benefit or incentive of the people, of the content creators and the users. But if we create KOK as a platform that increases in platform value, and if we increase the ecosystem, then the content providers and the content users, all of that increase can be shared within the people here. This is the token economy. This is the protocol economy. So we made the KOK platform. So through a Korean company has made a platform, a place where content creators can utilize and put up there. Now, just like Google, we need amazing content like in YouTube or in Google, and we need users like Facebook and Google and the App Store. And through that, the platform maker can make money because more users means more advertisers and more good content. But if you go up to the investors and tell them, hey, we created a blockchain solution platform. Hey, Mr. Content Provider, would you like to list your content into our platform? Instead of taking 30% of transaction fee, we'll only take 5% transaction fee. How about that? We'll make it a bit cheaper. Oh, and also, Mr. Advertiser, why don't you advertise in our platform? We will make sure and we give you better rates than Google or Apple. But then what do they say? Are you crazy? You have no users. Why would I put my content in there? I don't believe you. You're not going to make any money. So instead of taking it from me and me, no, why don't you buy it from me? That's what China did. Yeah. There are even games from China that has lots of money invested. Why? Because the users give it. It's all about the users. If you have users, advertisers, content providers will come in. But when they come in, they won't just come in. They have to pay contract fees to us. And then if there's revenue, they have to pay revenue fees. And what will they utilize to do the currency of form? It'll be KOK. And like that, the importance of user acquisition. These two companies really show as perfect examples. How did they become those companies? Now, finally, KakaoTalk has become the third biggest company and with revenue. 10 years ago, how did they start though? It was free text messaging. Now, every other company or the telecommunications company would charge for text messaging, but Kakao said, no, you can use it for free. So everybody started using KakaoTalk. Yeah, I used it too. Even my daughter told me to use KakaoTalk. So about 2.5 years, they had free text messaging system. For about 2.5 years, the amount of debt they had because of revenue loss was intense. But what were they doing? They were gambling on the idea of user acquisition. And through that, within 2.3 years of user acquisition, what did they drop to the world? They dropped the game Anypang on KakaoTalk. And perhaps it was through this game that even more people got into KakaoTalk. Because you and I, we all spent 50 cents, maybe $1 into this game. And in that very short amount of time, they covered their entire debt and increased their revenue to a positive. So remember what you remember about Anypang? What did you need? Red hearts. You needed hearts to keep playing. And if you don't have any red hearts, what happened? You couldn't sleep, right? Because you had to play more games. So to get more red hearts, what could you do? There are two things. One, you can pay money. Number two is invite a friend. This is what Kakao was thinking. They knew people will not spend money and they would invite people, and they were exactly right. All of the people in the world basically started having a referral movement of KakaoTalk. Everybody started inviting everybody, and Anypang was that game. And that's how Kakao became the next. What did they do? They had Kakao Taxi, Kakao Navigation, Kakao everything. So Kakao Bank, they have, so out of the 20, they have 23 conglomerates. They are the top 2 and 3 now. That's how they grew. Coupang. They IPO'd and listed in Nasdaq, right? And they had a humongous success in investment. Is Coupang a revenue? Do they have positive revenue stream or negative? Well, the fact that they got so much investment, that means they have a very solid revenue stream, right? Of course, they have income, right? Isn't that what stocks is all about? Shouldn't you invest in companies who have strong revenue streams like Samsung and Apple? Coupang has not been making any money for 6 years. This year, maybe they might have some revenues. For 6 years, for intense amount of expenditures was given out by Coupang. Aren't they crazy? And out of that, Mr. Son, an investor from South Korea, has invested so much in Coupang. Now, why would he continue to invest in a company that makes no positive revenue? Now, how would they change that? A lot of people said, Mr. Song, it was a mistake by Mr. Song investor. But what did they do? This year, they had a humongous investor opportunity as they rallied into the Nasdaq earlier this year. Perhaps Coupang might become bigger than Amazon. Perhaps they have that edge. What did Coupang have to have this kind of attractiveness to the investors? They had users. Kakao used free texting to get, and Anypang to get users. What did Coupang use for user acquisition? For the world's first, they had rocket delivery. The platform had its own 3PL. And the amount of money they've poured in and to invest and develop this platform that has its own 3PL system was Coupang, and allowed a rocket delivery. And the people, the users who became Coupang users, really became zealots utilizing this platform because it was so successful. And now what did they start? Food delivery. Just like KakaoTalk, Coupang is stepping the exact same steps of bringing up more services. So now what is it next? What we need to understand is, if platform gathers users, if people gather, if users gathers, then all the revenue comes to that platform. As long as there is a big crowd, a big number of users, advertisers come in, content provider come in, and services are made in generation for operation profits. So as more people there are, there's big data, and this big data itself is money. It's a huge amount of money. Now, let me tell you something about this. When you go to the hospital, you get diagnosed, right? When, of course, because you've seen a doctor, you have to pay for that, right? But from now on, you might not have to pay. You might actually be able to get money back after being seen by the doctor. Because the current model that the the hospital makes money is by diagnosing and treating your symptoms. But perhaps in the future, they are able to take your information, your treatment data, and that data, the amount of data that they sell, the cost of that data is perhaps even more than the amount of money that should cost your treatment. But who should own that data? It's ours. It's our data. But what if the hospital can utilize this data however much they want? Yeah. How are they able to make sure that this is being safely used and secure and private? They'll have to use blockchain technology. So I'm sure a day will come in the future where we'll say, I gave you my data to make those type of income, so I deserve a portion or incentive to that. So this is big data. So with more people, more big data, more people. And if more people are there, more contents come in. And if there are more contents, then more people will come in. It's almost like a scalable business. So then what is it? People are the power, they are the asset. If you have user acquisition, a platform will succeed. But Kakao made people and Coupang acquired users. So all of these successful platforms, and even 배달의 in Korea's Uber Eats has a huge user acquisition and succeeded. But if a lot of people come in, this platform goes up, but who made most of the money? The companies that made the platform, the shareholders of the platform company. So who provided the services? Who provided this success and growth of this platform? It was the users. But did the users get any incentive? So perhaps a small incentive was, perhaps a sale or maybe free text. Facebook, who creates the content there? We do, right? Who sees it? We see it. Who makes all the money? It's Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook. Uber. Who made the platform successful? It's us who uses Uber every day and us, the Uber drivers. What about 배달의 민족, the Uber Eats of Korea? It's the chicken restaurants, the tteokbokki restaurants, and the people who order that. We made that successful, but do we receive anything from that? No, nothing. But from now on, that will change. It becomes a world of incentives. This is a story of Uber. You understand? Hey, you to make Uber bigger, you lower the fees for Ubers. So sure, you got more user, but because of that, the driver, I have to claim bankruptcy. So the Uber driver, Uber uses its driver as a sacrificial lamb. And that is the platform economy right now. Amazon, Alibaba, YouTube, Uber, Facebook, Airbnb, and even Kakao and Naver from Korea and 배달의 민족 from Korea. They make hundreds of dollars. They make millions of dollars. But what do they give back to its users? Nothing. So then let's look at the past economy. We have a centralized economy. So if we buy a service or goods from a company, to get that, what do we have to do? We have to give money. But a platform economy, to receive the service and the goods of a company, perhaps it's a free service and a free goods to get, but we can only get a small, tiny portion of incentives. But what about a protocol economy? Everybody who's part of this platform, the ecosystem, the content provider, the user, the platform operator, and the users are all making money. Here, we paid money to get it. We get it for free, but here we get money. Do you think this is a possible model? Is this really possible? Won't this be an amazing future? Don't you think so? It's already here.
이미
Already it's here.
자, 토큰 이코노미를 활용하면 됩니다.
So we have to use the token economy.
모든 플랫폼 기업은요.
All
화폐를 사용해요.
the platform economy right now utilizes the money or money currency that we know. But why don't we change that to blockchain, to something that is more democratic, open sourced, open to the world, and transparent. So instead of utilizing dollars, Canadian dollars, euros, or Korean ones, we use token instead. But it has to have a limited supply of tokens, just like gold. Let's look at it. If I be part of this ecosystem of token economy, then what does it mean? We're taking part, we're staking into it. As this becomes bigger and tighter and stable, then how did that happen? It's because all the users are taking stake in that. You are all stakeholders. If I refer it, if I bring people friend or it's just the same as a company does marketing to find users in. And what does the company do to give us as incentive? They give us incentives as token. This is the mining incentive or the referral incentive that you get. Or you can, and what can you do with that? You can exchange that and sell that in a currency marketplace. Who's buying that? Is the company buying it? No, the marketplace will buy it. Why? Because they understand and value the growth and the value of the current token. And as I mentioned before, for advertisers to come in and content providers to come in and the corporations to come in, what do? They have to contractually buy the token. Right now, we only have a limited amount of KOK. Currently, the amount of KOK that the company has, it's very limited, but it is about 60% of what KOK exists is owned by the company. Now, one more time, what can this user do with this KOK token? He or she can utilize this inside the KOK ecosystem and put it back into the economy. And what can you do with that? So if it goes back in there, the ecosystem grows as it is reinvested back in here. With the incentive that I get, if I shop, I can shop with this. I can sell it at a marketplace. I can play a game. And what do we call this in one word? We call it a gold star.
여러분들이 자발적인 어떤 행동을 이끌어내면은 그것을 이끌어내기 위해서 보상을.
If you organically bring out a certain behavior for the ecosystem, you are given an incentive for it. That is the token economy. There is no centralized system that benefits from this type of behavior, but it is decentralized. So for all the part of the economy, ecosystem that you participate, that needs to be incentivized. And that is what the token economy is made. So if you understand this too, now you have understood KOK. So will that actually make money like that? No. Let's take a look at a Pedaminjo, which is the Korean Uber Eats. We call them Pemin. If they change that to a blockchain platform, so then they'll create a Pemin token. I can use that to buy pizza or tteokbokki. So where would I get Pemin token? I have to get it from the coin marketplace. So I can utilize to buy a Pemin token. I use that to buy tteokbokki. And then they took a transaction fee, and a part of that goes to the rider, the restaurant. And all of that is given out as token. But these people need more cash than token. So then they can just sell that token. As a user, I bought token, but these people sell that token to get cash. But now it started as a only tteokbokki restaurant, but now there's a chicken restaurant. All the restaurants start to come in. And right now it was just this village, but now the next city wants it. So now I only I only have 5,000 worth of token that I bought with $10, but now suddenly the amount of token has increased in value. So then Yogyo, this other type of food delivery system, sees that it's like, oh, you know what? Why don't I use this type of token here? Remember, I told you there is a specific limited amount of token. As more people look for it, the value of the token keeps going up. So then who makes money? The people who own the token, the people who trade with that token, and the company who owns the token itself. It's a very simple, basic concept. So through staking, through KOK, I receive the incentive back as KOK token. And if I refer a friend, the company does not utilize any money for marketing. And because I did that instead of the company's expense, I receive that money as KOK token. And again, for shopping, so if I utilize something as a KOK token to shop for something, then the content providers and the shopping items providers, they receive KOK token. They made revenue out of that. The entire ecosystem of the content provider and the user and the company itself, all three places, because they're utilizing the token to have active trades, they will be able to be part of the ecosystem and increase the value of the KOK token. Do you understand this so far? If you understand it in just once, you are a genius. It doesn't take just 1 to 2 times. You cannot introduce this business as put in this much and you get this much. If you don't give this type of explanation to this business, then you shouldn't do this business. It is a business of changing the world, of creating a new platform, a new economy. But if I don't really understand this person, let's say, to just make it easier, I just say, oh, just every day you get money, and if you put $10,000, you get $700. It's good, right? As soon as you say this, the person who's listening to this, oh, well, why did you bring this to me now? No, do you think they'll say that? No. Inside, do you know what they're saying? This fraudster, you scammer. Where is a company that gives you 7% of interest? Even if God tried to create such a company, it wouldn't exist. So that's why they would say, if you say that, you sound like a scammer. You are being like a scammer. So even if they hear that and people still come, do you know why? Because number one is they really trust that person, or number two is, they're agreeing to that scam. You really have to study this. You have to really understand this. If you look at this, then you should be really able to understand KOK. All right, so the platform started. This is a company, right? Do we know if it's going to succeed or if it's going to fail? Nobody knows. Yeah, for us, we were successful. Okay, I want to talk about this. Do you know the background of how KOK became so successful? Of course, a lot of great people came into the company and all the frontiers. Nobody did the marketing schemes or the multi-layer marketing that you think. I've never done network marketing, and KOK is my very first. I was a CEO for 28 years for a big company. My wife, she's an architect. She's a doctorate architect. And then, yeah, so how much experience do we have of multi-level marketing? None. We just met the right company here. And we did our part rigorously and well. But there's one hidden MVP. It was COVID-19. I realized that in business, it's all about luck. I always tell people we're so lucky. Because of COVID, the digital content ecosystem has exploded. And all that money that went to gold, where did it go? It went to cryptocurrency. And then 2019, June 29th, President Moon in Osaka signed for something. What did he sign? Do you know what it's about? We agree that cryptocurrency is not a negative impact to the Korean economy. So therefore, we will accept it. However, with the discretion of its usage for the prosperity of the people and against the act of terrorism. With all this increase in support and demand for cryptocurrency, the government body that was so against cryptocurrency, what did they do? They signed it. So next year, January 1st, you have to pay tax for cryptocurrency. Because of COVID-19, a lot of money has been being spent, and all of that money was given to cryptocurrency, and the cryptocurrency's coin values kept going up. And to take advantage of this changing situation was KOK. But even though it has succeeded so far, we have to understand, will it continue to succeed? Or perhaps will it change in the future? Nobody knows. So then why don't we think about what possibilities it has? So, okay, when it started, as time passes, trust will go up, but because it started in the beginning stage, there's a high risk. So if you want to bring users when there's a high risk, we have to give you more. There has to be more incentive, right? Yeah. To bring more users in the beginning portion when there's a high risk, we gave more, we have more return. But as time goes by, it will going to drop. We're going to cycle again, and we're going to drop it to perhaps 5%. And then we'll probably let you know what numbers it's going to drop to. It's going to drop perhaps even below 1%. But if it does, that means we have succeeded so much, because that means the trust for this company means it's already skyrocketed, and all the conglomerates and the people of the world will look into this company. This is not the drop in revenue. It is the cost of marketing. And just like Bitcoin, we are going to reduce the amount of token supply. We are going to purposely drop the supply of the token. So 3 years and 5 years from now on, in 2030, Bitcoin is going to be fully mined, right? Just like that KOK will be fully mined as well. And the company has 60% of the KOK as well. So as this is returns, high risk, high return becomes lower return, 12%, 9%, 7%. So people start coming in. As they come in, you see the curve of the people coming in. And as it goes, as an increase in users, what goes up? The price of the token, the value of the token goes up as the value of the user goes. But first, even before that, there's an increase in operating profit. Why? Because as there's more users, more content comes in, and more operating profit is made thus in. And also, and because we are stakeholders into this platform, because we took a stake in this, it becomes more stable. The price becomes less volatile in US dollars. But the amount of the value of the coin that I have right now becomes higher and higher. Bitcoin is all the way to $60,000. How much is Ethereum right now? It's 4,000 US dollars. If the price of the cryptocurrency asset goes up, then the company's asset value goes up as well. As I mentioned again, the company has its own KOK asset. So if that value goes up, the asset of the company goes up. And it kept on giving away its KOK in the beginning and start to disintegrate the KOKs at the earlier price points. But it was really cheap back then. And five years later, 6 years later, the company is going to redistribute the amount of KOK into the future. And when it does, back in the day when it was taken away, it was a cheap price. But in the future, if let's say 100,000 of it, if it's resupplied into the market at this point, 5 years later, how much would it be? Dr. Che from KOK says, he confidently says, yeah, there's perhaps no way stopping us to get all the way to $100. Will we really go to $100? It's only $3 now, but you have no idea. You don't know. Nobody knows. But let's not trust $100. Let's just go. Let's be conservative and go $10. Yeah, $10. If in 2 years we went to 20%, 20 times higher, yeah, if it's $3, $10, we can go. So at that point, the amount of companies' asset increase in value will be over 4 trillion. Perhaps when we supply it, we sell it as $10. But if that becomes $100, oh my goodness, an immeasurable amount of money. Can you understand this math? It's easy math. The company makes an intense amount of revenue at the point. The company is not making money in this type of operating profit alone. So what kind of business are we? Is it about putting money and investing money in a company that I trust and gaining the interest back? No. It is about increasing the value of the incentive that I receive from the economy and the platform that I participated in. That's what KOK is about. And because of the theory of supply and demand, it is supposed to happen and it will happen. That's all. That's all there is to it. There's nothing hard about it. So from now on, let's look at the path of the increase in token till now. So every block here is about 2 months. We started at $0.14, and to become 1.15 to go up 1 cent, it took about 4 months. Why? Because we only had a low number of users. And to go from 0.15 to 0.17, to go up 2 cents, it also took 4 months. Now to go 0.17 cents to $2, it'll take only 3 months. But look at what happened recently. It's going up 20% every jump, but every month it's going up 20%. More and more and more it's going up. What does that mean? It's equivalent and the same as the amount of rate of increase of the users. So it is not about bringing more money. If you bring more users, then of course this will work. So that is why the company doesn't want money. What does a company want? Company wants people who bring people with $300. So I'll tell you again, so this company, if it wanted money and revenue, then it would probably come to US, Canada, Japan first, and probably gave more incentives and treated better to have these people with higher incomes. But no, where are we focusing most? As Southeast Asia, South America, Africa. They don't have a lot of money. They're developing countries, but they are the best. Why? Because they have the population. They have the users. And 60 to 70% of that population is under 30. And these people under 30, they're always on their smartphones and they love K content. And to these people, oh, you guys don't have money, right? Hey, put a little bit of money in here. And if you utilize the platform, you get K content for free. And with that money, and if you refer another money, then you can make money. Will they do it? They have to do it. They will do it. Why is Canada good? Do you know why? Do you know why the Canadian market is better than the US market? It's because this is the immigration company of the world. If Canada takes over, it takes over the world. A round of applause for us. You have to make token, conserve token. In the coin market cap, we rank 247th right now. There's about 11,000 token and coins listed up here, but not everybody is listed here. To be listed here, you have to be listed in at least 2 of the main marketplaces in the world. So in the coin marketplace has the 11,000 coin and tokens that are being listed to be accepted as value as form of cryptocurrency, and out of there KOK is 247th. But we're not going to stay here. No, we're hungry. Just you wait, and very soon we'll be the top 50. In the Korean coin Clay is right now in the top 50 because they are the bigger, larger corporate, because they have, of course, people feel more secure about it. But for us, we will win because their platform is not based on blockchain technology. What do I tell you about this? I went to this anti-site and said, and they wrote, if KOK is so good, why didn't Google do it? Why didn't Samsung do it? Why didn't Minjok do it? They said, oh, those are people who really don't know. Oh, no. That's all about stakeholders and shareholders. The shareholders have design. So they're going to use blockchain technology, protocol economy. Will they do that? Really? No way. Would you say yes to that if you're the shareholder of the company? No, absolutely not. So Uber, Airbnb, what do they do? I'll give you 15% of my shares to the drivers. So what they do is they talk about shares. This is not something that can be implemented. They cannot incorporate this protocol economy, but we can because we're a startup. So out of the 11,000 coins and tokens of the world, companies that actually the currencies that have both the platform and the technology and the token as one, there's only 50 of them in the world. But if you have your own platform and technology to have this, to trade, if you have your own platform for your token, if you don't utilize your own platform to utilize your type of token, then what do you need to do? You have to pay gas fee or transaction fee. Gas fee or transaction fee has to be paid if we don't have our own technology of trading this. So for example, if you want to send KOK to somebody else, what do we need? We need Ethereum, right? We need to utilize Ethereum technology. But what if we are right now really giving an intense amount of money into Ethereum, but instead of that, about next year, early next year, we'll be able to launch our own platform. If we put our own technology, our own coin will be there. So now we can be finally called a coin, but not a token. And if we have the so all that transaction fee can become an operating profit of KOK. So our mainnet, people who want Ethereum technology can use Ethereum, but the mainnet that best fits our content and our platform, these people use our mainnet. We have 2 mainnets. One is a medium mainnet and one is a KOK mainnet. A medium mainnet is based on blockchain network, just like Ethereum. And that is their purpose of their mainnet. And that is why we call Ethereum digital oil. They call Bitcoin digital gold. But for us, we want a coin that matches our daily life. Our mainnet will now match the utilities of our daily life. So then other blockchain projects, when they make their tokens, and if they look at which mainnet they should use, oh, that one has the fastest speed in the world. Oh, and this KOK chain matches our business portfolio, then what would they do? Is they would utilize KOK's mainnet. So their coins will now be utilized with the KOK mainnet. Let's say a Canadian. So those people will now be utilizing KOK coin and the KOK mainnet to do the transfer of their tokens. There's only 3 years left of mining of the KOK coin, but the world of pre-mainnet and post-mainnet is completely different. But however, Perhaps the supply of the amount of mined coins may change after the mainnet integration, but if we can have our mainnet, we can save so much money within the company's operating profit. And during that time, a lot of contents and users will congregate among the KOK platform. So all of this together, so the world after all mining, all of the marketing will continue. We'll continue to give incentives, and that's where the supply will come. So people ask, "Oh, about 5 years later, I'm not going to get an incentive." No, no, no. Don't think about it that way. You don't have to worry. We will continue to make profit to give the incentives. Our mainnet will work. By next year, early next year, it will be implemented. Right now, we're at the point of the frontiers. So you call you guys a content company, but there's no content. Oh, what is this, a scam? A lot of people have said that. These are the people who have no idea about our platform. These are the people who are referring us and similarly comparing us to the monetary currencies that are out there, but it's not like that. But the 13%, the 7%, the 5%, if we're utilizing the real monetary currencies and we're giving you that, then to give you that money, we had to have that money, but we didn't, right? But we're not giving you money, are we? We give you a token. Is there a base price for a token? No, there's no base price for a token. There is no need for a monetary assets to give in that. You need to understand that. But utilizing the value coming out of the trade and creating that into a currency and that can be accepted and trusted and used, that is the ecosystem, and that's what the ecosystem does. Those people who doubt, tell them, come in later. You don't have to do it now. By that time, we'll have lots of content. So just join us as a consumer. Just tell them we can just accept them back then. But we are doing a fandom marketing. It's not just BTS that has a fandom. Our token economy has its own fandom. Check out this video. Within 2 years, we were able to reach 140 companies all around the world. And so far, this has been the very first company that was able to do this. We started global and we are still global. It is not, it's a corporate structure that can only work globally. He's handsome, yeah? Woo! Who gave this year's Korea's hit product award? It was from 조선일보. And this kind of prize, a lot of doubters will say, oh, you bought this with money. You just got it. Oh yeah, try giving them money. See what happens. Try giving them money. See if they give this to you. Absolutely not. It goes through a very rigorous certification process. Is there any blockchain-based company that got the hit Product of the Year award? Nope, zero. A lot of people doubt it, and a lot of people are very careful about blockchain and crypto and all of that. We beat and we were able to receive that. I received it. That's what I received. I received it and to the company. And I brought this trophy to the company. This is a business made by you, by the frontiers. And I'm pretty sure more will follow. Now, why don't we talk about Medium? The main platform provider of the technology behind KOK's platform is Medium. If blockchain technology does not overcome the problem of the speed limitation, This innovative and superior technology cannot provide itself useful. Medium finally solved the problem of speed that no global company has solved until now through hardware, not by software. Through such achievements, Medium will become a leading global blockchain platform that has overcome the shortcomings of leading platforms such as Ethereum and EOS. The blockchain market has no owner just yet. There's still no owner. There are 3 points about blockchain that's good. The fact that it is secure and it's scalable. The whole world will be taken over by blockchain. And the hardest part about this is the scalability, the speed. Bitcoin, per second, you can only get 7 transactions. Ethereum, per second, 20. Perhaps it's faster now. They made it a bit faster. But right now, we'll have to see. The fastest is EOS, 3,000 per second. To make it easy used in our daily life, it needs to be the speed of Visa card and MasterCard. And for them, it's 20,000 TPS, transaction per second. But we, with Medium, is now we're able to bring this speed. 10,000 TPS is now being able to be done through hardware, not software. So 100,000? No, we'll go all the way to 1 million transaction per second. We'll be able to bring this to the people. If a company makes an EOS, if they use EOS or Ethereum or their own, but if they use a Medium bridge to do so, then right away, the TPS speed has increased. Right now, Ethereum is very expensive, but it's very slow. But as soon as you put Medium's bridge, then suddenly the transaction per second goes so much faster. And the transaction fee goes down. So people will utilize this over and over, almost pervasively by all the companies utilizing blockchain transactions. So using this technology, Medium received the global best technological events in the Korea accreditation scheme. And utilizing this technology, Medium, and it's about to do something huge. What is it? NASDAQ. Where are they being listed in? In NASDAQ. Out of the blockchain technology companies in the world, I haven't heard any blockchain companies being listed in the NASDAQ, but in NASDAQ, the main market is a national market. And to be in the main national market, you must go through a preliminary registration process in the pink sheets. And if you see it, I wrote in past tense, listed. What does that mean? Am I saying the future? No, it already happened while you didn't know about it. And already it's being traded in large sums of money. Now, when this becomes a public information in October, it will come out in the press. And you still don't believe the company? Wow, my goodness. This is the type of company you're being with right now. After the merger of Medium and KOK and the acquisition of KOK, so now the world top performance through technology and our content, our platform together, we call this a metaverse platform. So with Medium and KOK, with this merger and acquisition, what do I call it? I call this type of merger as Einstein and Cleopatra got married. This is how I describe it. I made this, but I feel like I made it up, but it kind of feels like it's a perfect fit. Our final goal is the metaverse platform. Until now, Medium only had these solutions
B였죠.
for B2B, and they had software as a service as their main solutions. But now they have a platform for their B2C. So now their business can branch off both to B2B and B2C. Do you understand?
자, 마일스톤 1기, KOK 재단에서
So let's talk about the milestones of KOK. And even in second phase of our milestone, which are still we're being part of. Now we're about to go to milestone 3, which is our version 3.0. And because it was taken over, we were acquired by Medium. It is now being presented by Medium, and a lot will change. Version 1 and version 2, it was a very early stages. When I started before 2 years ago, almost nothing existed. So that's why nobody believed me. And as we went through version 1 and version 2, much of that was all the milestone had been accomplished, and that is why we've grown this much. And as version 3 comes, much will be changed. I'm about to show you a video that even Korea hasn't seen. A premiere. I asked a company, I'm going to US or Canada. I need something to show them. I need a gift for them. I did well, right? Woo! This video about version 3.0 starts now. You should look forward for it. If you look at this video, you can see Kok Talk, KOK Talk. In the world, there's 5 main messengers: Kakao Talk, WeChat, Telegram, Line, and out of these top 5 in the world, there isn't one that gives live interpretation of the chat. Line may try it, but because they're only being used in Japan, it's not really considered a global one. So the first one that is able to interpret is KOK Talk for the first time. So if you utilize KOK and to talk to somebody, say, oh, hey, look, hey, it's translating for me. Yeah, my company made this. Hey, you want to come into the KOK platform? This is the type. Do you think you can sell it like this? Yeah, you can. So now, utilizing this KOK Talk, not only can you chat, but you can send KOK. So everything you've seen so far, all of this, it's not just things that are out of idea. And we are about to give you so many crazy more news coming out of the company. And this type of broadcast that you're about to see, imagine if it came out of a Toronto broadcast or Canada broadcast. Can you imagine? An MOU has been signed by an Indonesian home shopping channel utilizing Medium's blockchain technology. And now they are looking for bringing not just online, but offline solutions utilizing Medium and utilizing the KOK token. And of course, you'll be able to utilize the token to shop in Indonesia. And I'm pretty sure in the near future in Toronto, you will see this exact same broadcast. Round of applause for this man, please. when I heard the news that he might be joining in the KOK world, I couldn't even tell my wife because I was in the doubt. What if he actually doesn't join? And I was in doubt. Would he really? Would he really join? The top futurist that Google has selected. And with this, a person who has been acknowledged by the world as the futurist. He's not about blockchain. He's not about platform. IBM and Intel tried to recruit him so many times, but he didn't go. Why? Because he says he doesn't align with IBM and Intel's future. But this person is joining Medium and KOK. What does that mean? Because the future that Medium and KOK sees matches with the future that he sees. Yes, do clap. You should welcome. You should check out his videos on YouTube. There's a saying that he does. Now, why don't I ask you, your present, was it made by the past? No? Or is it from the future? Most people will say our present was made by the past, because what I did in the past is how I am now. He says the otherwise. The present is the future of the past, meaning the fact that you are here right now, this future that I'm thinking, the happy future that I'm thinking, the hopeful future that I thought for the future, because you wanted that is why you're here right now in the present. So then what does it mean? So this present, where did it come from? It came from the future. Do you understand? You're amazing. You are all amazing to understand that. Thomas Fry says by 2030, an intense amount of job places will disappear. But what he is saying is, as time changes, as the era passes, the old jobs will disappear, but new jobs will come. And out of those there, perhaps, I'm pretty sure the KOK frontier jobs will be those jobs that are created in the future. So how did the social networking services change back in the first generation utilizing 2G? You've seen these, right? World. And then the 3G world brought us Twitter, Facebook. And then the 4G third generation, or the interest-based social networking service like Instagram and YouTube. What about the fourth generation using 5G? It's about reality social networking services. Learning from here, meeting from here. What is this? This is called merge. It's pretty cool, huh? The name of this place is called Merge, and it's made out of blockchain. It is the new reality, and this will be launched in New York. It's launching in New York, but this time, at this tour, I was supposed to be with Choi Young-gyu CTO, and I wanted to bring Professor Thomas Fry. And everybody agreed on that. And that's why, and in LA, we were all going to meet. But to do so, I've made sure that we got all the approval to have everybody there. But to invite Thomas Fry to an event during COVID, to a non-official event, has never done before. So we had to make it into an official event. Now, to make it an official event, we had not enough time to actually create it into an official event. So we said, so this time, perhaps we won't be able to do it, but as Merge comes out later, we're going to plan a world tour. Oh, I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be huge. Then Dr. Thomas Fry will be with us, and the other frontiers will be with us. And perhaps in Canada, should I bring somebody to Canada? Yes. Woo! I'm not too sure he's going to listen to this. merge is about destroying the boundary between alternate reality and reality. You can game, you can talk, you can shop in this augmented or mixed reality, and perhaps even art and education. And all of this will launch in New York. You can definitely look forward for this. Yes.
자, 여러분들 제일 예민해하시고 기대하시는 또 상장 소식이에요.
I have even more IPO and listing news for you. Right now, we are in 5 of the main traders in the world. Like Hotbit is a global
도둑 상장을 했어요.
marketplace.
이건 무엇을 의미하냐면
And we called it,
상장한 데가
we didn't get there naturally. We got there.
몽골거래소가 잘 상장했어요. 아마 이제
We weren't listed naturally in Hotbit, for example, but there are some places we call this a thief listing, a robbery listing. Do you know what it's called? Now, to have these coins listed on these marketplaces, do you know where you get the approval for that? Well, of course, you want to list different type of coins in a marketplace, but they will only pick the attractive, the sexier ones, the ones that continue to increase in value. If a marketplace sees that, then even before we go and find them and say, please list KOK token in there, they automatically list KOK token there. This is happening. This is not a small problem. These are the top 5s of the world, and they are already enlisting us, even before us listing them. And these are the future that will find us. Maybe all of them will list us there, or some of them will list it there. That future, we won't know. I didn't put the name of the companies here because you probably already know these names. This is Binance, #1 of the world, Binance. If we go into Binance, this is picking a star out of the sky. It's super hard. But I feel like this is just a future, not too far. It's soon. Out of this, I'm pretty sure within the 1-month tour that I am in, out of these, at least one of them is going to list us. Oh, the price of our token is going to go. You have a lot of them, right? Make sure you gather a lot. Oh, it doesn't sound like it is. You have a lot, right? Yeah. Oh, you have a lot, right? Yeah, do you gather a lot? Oh, okay, you're gonna be rich. Make sure you have enough tokens. Why should you conserve your tokens? I'm about to show you. They said through the listing of the NASDAQ IPO, we will become the 10th of the world. And it is not about being confident. It is about showing we are already on our way. Now, the KOK frontier can now receive respect and be target for envy of the world. Sure, you can be rich and find the envy of the people around you, but the problem of respect, that's completely different. Sure, you can be rich, but to have that respect and honor for it, that's completely different. Now, a lot of people here are Korean. Even if you are not Korean, if you are foreign, it's the same. We are living in a digital user life. And out of there, we are trying to become the digital world citizen. But as Koreans, you should really take a pride of being part of this ecosystem. And through the token economy and through the protocol economy, the whole world would change. If possibly humanity can change through this. This is an honest work. The center of respect you can become. We will make you that. We can do this together. Until now, for those who had the American dream, and those who wanted to live that beautiful future in beautiful Canada, Did it really work that way? No. So today I saw Niagara Falls and I made some money now. So now I'm not sure about the respect, but I definitely have the envy of the world. So when I saw Niagara Falls, I said, please take my age away. I want to live longer now. That's what I said in this very wonderful environment that you guys have. If you have the economical stability, that is the life in Canada as a dream, the life of the immigrant dream, the dream of the immigrant in Canada. This is what can become true. This is possible. I'm sure of it. Now let's make money. Way to make money is just this one page. Through KOK, through the token that you get as incentive to KOK, you get us to Kok token. Now, if you take this, take it out. Where do you put it? Into digital cryptocurrency marketplace. And some of it, change it to Bitcoin. It's your choice. It's your call. But there's a difference here. Bitcoin and Ethereum, there's a lot of up and down. If you get to know this is just being a prophet, but there's no way of calling it right. But there's actually one way of getting right. Buy Bitcoin, then it's going to drop in value. If you sell it, it's going to go up. For some strange reason, it works like that every time. If I buy it, it drops. If I sell it, it goes up. That's what Bitcoin is. But KOK token is more of a step growth. A lot of doubters will say it's just a cycling. How can it never drop? That the company is just pumping and trading it by themselves. Those people, they really don't know what they're talking about. For those who have no idea, what kind of company would fund itself for 2 years like this? No, it can't. Usually this type of fraudulent thing can happen by a company for a short amount of time. It's just for 2 years, it's impossible. I've been gathering KOK from 0.17 and now it went up 20 times. What about Bitcoin? How much? In 2 years, it went up 6 times. No game, easy win. But it's not about how many times it goes up. It is about the personality or the characteristics of this change. This is the difference. That means if you take out KOK token, the value of my asset continues to go up. However, Bitcoin almost went up to 80,000. It almost dropped down to 30,000, but now went back up to 50, 60,000. Now, why are you being swayed by this? It is always like that. It will always drop and climb. So when it drops, sell the KOK you have and buy Bitcoin. And then just keep it. Then Bitcoin will go up and KOK will go up. Do you understand? If Bitcoin goes up, then I'm happy because Bitcoin goes higher. But if Bitcoin goes down, I can sell KOK and buy it. So it doesn't matter if it goes up. If it goes down, I can buy it. It's basically win-win in both hands. There are 3 ways of making money. 1, you should know the smell. You should be able to smell money. 2nd, you should be able to control money well. And 3rd is do something that nobody else is doing. Now, when does the smell of money reek the most? It's when the world is swapping or flipping. Because of COVID right now, everything is changing. Life patterns and life is changing. Cryptocurrency is becoming legalized in countries, but the government, by the time if you wait for the government to be supportive of cryptocurrency, it's too late already. By the time, finding that time when the government says don't do it, that's the time you should do it. You make money 100%. It's been historically proven. If the government says do it, if you do it when everybody else is doing, then that's when you lose. Right now, Right now is when it reeks of the smell for money. Number two, you have to control money well. I told you, I taught you. This is how you got to make money. If Bitcoin goes out, goes down, doesn't matter. You're still happy. Why? Because KOK token is what you have. You have one that you can trust. So what is it at the end? So that means you have to have lots of Kok token. And to have a lot of Kok token, you have to invest a lot, right? 아닙니다. 아닙니다. It's about investing a lot, right? No, it's not about investing. It's about finding more users. Everybody, all the other business wanted more money. We don't want money. No. We don't want you to invest money. We actually even limited on how much money you can invest. There's no such company in the world. Everybody wants more money. If you make more money, then we give you more incentive. We're not like that. If you put $300, putting $300,000 for us, you're the same. We want people. We want users. If we want more KOK token, we want more people. Team building and making everybody a frontier. That increases the value of KOK token. And that is why if you create a lot of supply of KOK token, you can make a lot of money. And now, time. I feel like there's still a lot of time left because, so even though the supply rate will drop, what's important is the KOK time or the KOK clock will not wait for you. What's going to happen now? A FOMO effect is about to happen. It's the basic human psychology to be part of the change in society. If everybody's making money out of KOK, at first I said, oh, that was a fraud, that was a scam, so I didn't do it. So I keep seeing people making money and keeps going. And I see that more people who are being successful than all that money that I didn't make because I refused it at first. No, what do? Before the last bus comes, I jump in. This is the same for individuals, for conglomerates. This is what we call the FOMO effect. This is going to happen very soon. And by that time, it's going to be half water, half fish. So what should we do? My net should be biggest then. My bowl should be the biggest. So what should we do now? Right now, make your bowl as big as possible. Start making it bigger now. Make your net as big as possible now. You don't have a lot of time. There's not a lot of time. You can do it later. It's going to be the sky and the ground of a difference. So this business, it's not about money, it's not about sales, it's about members. We don't want sales. We don't have deadlines. You know, this referral marketing or it's not the type of multi-level marketing that you see. Is there a reward trap? No, not at all. But even though it's referral marketing, there's residual income. What? There's income left over. But all the other sales markets don't have it, but KOK has it. What do you mean? Even blockchain projects, all products has newer products that come in the future. The one that comes out tomorrow is going to be better. Even blockchain, the one that comes out tomorrow will be better. But the new technology and the new goods and the new products, the new marketing is born. Then what happens then? All the users move to the new one. So do I just move myself? No, my partners move. So even only the companies move? No, the users move as well. The customers move too. The entire hierarchy changes. Network marketing, it's all about, it's like spinning dishes. If you don't spin the dishes, it drops. You have to throw it out. So having residual income in network marketing, theoretically it is possible, but it is more about utilizing that illusion. But is KOK the same? You could ask. Oh, What about a better one than KOK comes out? Then everybody, all the customers will, all the companies will move as well. And you could ask that question, but because it isn't that, I can confidently tell you why it's different. Why is it different? Because it starts with Korea, and it's going to go global, and that's why it's going to succeed. No, this is the lie. Then some company would say, oh, because it started in Korea and it's going to go global, and that's why it's going to be successful. No, that is not going to happen. This is what they say. This is as close as to scamming somebody you can do utilizing this illusion, because a new product will always come, a new marketing scheme will always come, and the users will move, the customers will move. So then KOK, how is it an exception out of that? This global part, these users are global. These consumers already are the K content manias. They are the fandom. We don't have to create more customers. The people other side of the world who have a different racial background than us, and we say, instead of K content, would you want to try Y content? That's not what we were going to say. Right now, you are utilizing Google to get K content, but now we're through a protocol economy, you, for free, while utilizing for content for free, you can also earn money. That's all we have to say. Automatically, you generate revenue. This is the KOK business. And that's why there is residual income. And it's about creating an ecosystem. It's different than what has all the business that has come. The fact that you are here listening to this here, that means you are completely in luck. Many companies in the past have given us dreams and visions. Did any of those come true? No. Sure, there are many companies that gave visions and dreams, but are there companies that really made those dreams a reality? Will KOK do that? No. KOK is already doing that. All the success stories, all the successors and the frontiers who have found success are showing you right now. It is the only type of economic model that anybody can win. It's the protocol economy, blockchain. And KOK is doing it right now. And everyone, I can definitely show you that this dream can happen. So I want to finally add in the idea about owner risk and user risk. So even companies like Google and Apple, they're not eternal. Of course, sometimes some things might. Do you think they'll be forever in the future? No, I don't think so. So then if they're not, if they won't exist forever, how can you really secure and insure my asset? Those questions are given. These are the stuff I didn't really talk about in Korea, but because of Toronto, I especially prepared this part. There's two reasons why a company goes down: an owner risk and a user risk. And while you're doing blockchain project till now, you have probably heard a lot of people who have met the fraudulent companies. But of course, there are some companies like that. Some companies were even fake from the very beginning. But through the users, through us, there's probably more companies that went under because of the users, the end users. Oh, I'd never heard this before. Yeah, sure, that could be possible. But let me tell you, owner risk is what Ponzi schemes are. It's when the people, the C-level of the people who are operating the company take much of the asset and basically run away. And as the pyramid or hierarchy becomes bigger, as the money that has to be distributed becomes bigger, so they keep doing promotions. If they do a promotion, that means that company is going to go under, and it is again historically proven. So they're going to try to sell as much as they can. And once they have the most amount that they can pull, they'll take that and then run away. But why do we get into that? It's because we are naturally greedy. We want to try to be part of that advantage. And that's when people say, I've lost money through that. But KOK, look at KOK and look at Medium. How much money do you think we have taken? We didn't stake a lot. And taking that and how much money do you think we have left after spending it for developing our technology? Sure, because we have listed ourselves together, we have a good foundation for our asset. But for itself to grow up, do you know how much money the company could make by being part of the growth of the ecosystem? With the medium bridge, with the operating costs, with the main net that we can have, all that money, do you know how much there is? It's a humongous point of money is going to come in. And to let go of that and then just run away with this initial amount of money, do you think we're scammers like that? It just doesn't make sense. Just common sense. We're Koreans. We want it. Yeah, they're Koreans that you can see that exist, that have so much to lose to basically abandon ship. So then next is user risk. Because of the users, because of us, the end users, this business could fail, which means put money in, take money out. Without understanding anything about the company structure and the business structure, you just put $10,000 and then you get $700 out. And just to get income and revenue for itself. This is about team building. It's about teamwork and team play. It's about leveling up together. And only then you can make an intense amount of revenue because you don't understand the system, because you just try to do it under. That's why it doesn't work. If it's about putting in, money out, then this business will break. So what about if we don't have users in the future? Will the company go under? Well, until the platform is fully developed, we need users, because once the platform is completely created, already within the ecosystem will generate its own revenue. At that point, we might not even need any marketing. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. But until then, we definitely need more users. So if you really think about that and even question things like that, then I say, even if you don't do it, if nobody in this room does it, for me, I will go to the small towns of Africa and tell them about broken economy and to define the people who really understand that. And with them, I will bring our passion and really make this into the future. And then this economy. And then it will never fail. And if you do that with me, it'll be faster and it'll be even bigger. And it'll become a better company. I'm confident that I'll go to the small villages of Africa. I can do it. Why can't I? I had nothing 2 years ago. Look at this. The environment is great. You just have to be nosy. To gather more users, just be nosy. That's it. Just like talking about a good food chain down the street. That's all you have to do. So marketing means more revenue, means more sales. So we're not marketing. We are about increasing the value of KOK. And what do we call that? We call that branding, increasing the value of the platform, the value of the token. And at the same time, increasing my value, my assets value, and my value in the ecosystem. And that is why we don't really use marketing anymore. We use the word branding. So have you ever heard Nike say, hey, we have good soles and better texture than Reebok? Or do I say that do they have better clothing textiles than other? Have you seen Harley Davidson saying that his bike is good? Harley does not sell bikes. They sell their culture. Nike, they sell the resilience of the hard-spirited sports athlete around the world. That's what they sell. You can do it too. That is the brand. And this is the KOK culture. This is what we are doing.
클래스가 다르다.
It's in a different class.
차원이 다르다.
It's in a different dimension.
뒤집을 겁니다.
We're going to flip it.
KOK가
KOK
구글과 애플의 외속화되는 식민지화되는 이 디지털 콘텐츠 시장에
into the digital content market, to the digital content citizens, where Google and Apple is already there. Are we saying that we're going to beat them? Are we saying we're going to be better than them? No. We're saying we're going to create a platform that is in a different direction than them. If we step on the same steps that they have taken, they will step on us. Do you know why they're called dinosaurs? Because they're big? No, because no matter what, if you're in front of them, you'll be stepped on and you'll be destroyed. If we copy them in a farce way, then we'll completely fail. So that is why we're choosing a completely different path. Their users and our users are completely different. Their users pay for their services. Our users are the owners of our platform. And the amount of earnesty towards the company is completely different. My gain is the company's gain, and the company's gain is my gain. If you receive money from Hyundai and drive a Benz, no, you cannot. The color and the idea towards the company is completely different. It's all network marketing. It's all MLM, right? We're going to change the paradigm of that. And with you, with me, and with everybody who is being part of the ecosystem, to everybody. And we're going to change our entire life. We're going to change it. Can you promise it? Woo! We're going to listen to the KOK song, and together we'll play with our, well, by clapping. She has been out from Miss Trot in Korea.